So, let's talk about one of the biggest questions out there. What on earth does the future hold for all of us, for civilization itself?
Namaskar. You know, it feels like everywhere you turn, there's this anxiety, this background hum of fear that we're on the edge of some kind of collapse. But the philosophy we're diving into today looks that fear right in the eye and says something pretty bold. Complete extinction? That's not in the cards for us.
Okay, so how can anyone be so sure about that? Well, what we're going to explore today is a really fascinating idea, that the way forward isn't just about more tech, more stuff, more of the same. It's about completely rethinking what progress even means. So, yeah, let's get into it. What is true progress anyway? We're so used to thinking it's about better phones or faster cars, but this philosophy suggests that real progress, well, it's a movement toward a state of ultimate good for everyone.
And this whole idea is built on 3 pillars. First, you've got asti. This is just existing. The basics, right? Food, water, shelter. But that's just the ground floor. The next level up is bhati. And this is where it gets interesting. This is real, all-around development. And the whole point of that development, the destination, is ananta, ultimate bliss, infinite happiness. So you see, the big idea here is that just surviving isn't the point. Striving is.
I mean, without that drive to move forward, that desire for bhati, what's the point? The text gives this amazing example of an earthworm. It's existed for millions of years, but has it really progressed? A life that's just about consuming, well, that's not freedom. It's actually a kind of prison, a total bore. Okay, so if progress is so important, why is history just littered with the ruins of these super advanced civilizations? What went wrong? Well, it turns out they might have been chasing the wrong kind of progress.
And to really get this, we have to separate 2 words we use all the time, culture and civilization. Think of it this way. Culture is the what. It's our art, our music, our traditions, all the ways we express ourselves. But civilization, that's the how. It's the wisdom, the rationality, the moral compass we bring to all that stuff. And here's the kicker. You can have a ton of culture and almost no civilization.
And right there, that's the fatal flaw. When our ability to build things, to invent, to create powerful technology, when that stuff starts to outrun our wisdom and our sense of right and wrong, that's when we're heading for a cliff. That imbalance is a recipe for disaster. And you can see this pattern play out over and over in history. Take the ancient Arabs. They were making strides in science, but they were missing those key ingredients for a truly stable society. Or look at ancient Egypt. Incredible art, unbelievable architecture, but all that material greatness couldn't stop their decline. The lesson is crystal clear. Shiny objects and scientific breakthroughs are not enough to keep a civilization alive. So if just building bigger and better things isn't the answer, what is? Well, this philosophy doesn't just point out the problem, it actually gives us a blueprint for bhati, that true sustainable development we were talking about.
And this blueprint has 6 absolutely essential parts. It starts with a spiritual ideology, some kind of unifying purpose that's bigger than ourselves. Then you need a spiritual practice to actually work towards it. But it's not all internal. You also need a fair socio-economic theory and a fraternal social outlook, this feeling that we're all in it together. And to hold it all up, you need scripture, some form of elevated wisdom, and a preceptor, a guide to light the way.
Now here's the really crucial part. This isn't a buffet where you can pick and choose. You gotta have all 6. They all work together like legs on a table. If even one of them gets wobbly, the whole structure, the whole project of progress, is in danger of collapsing. So you have this amazing blueprint, but who's gonna do the building? This brings us to a really cool concept, a totally new kind of leader for a new kind of world.
They're called a sadvipra. Now, a sadvipra is way more than just a spiritual person. There are 3 things that define them. First, their goal is bliss for everyone. Second, they have an unbreakable moral core. And third, and this is the part that might surprise you, they are always ready to fight against what's wrong.
Wow. Just think about that image for a second. This isn't some passive, detached figure sitting on a mountaintop. The sadvipra is a warrior for good. Their spirituality is active. It has teeth. It stands up and fights against the forces that want to tear society down.
And that fight isn't just theoretical. It's about rolling up your sleeves and solving real-world problems. It's about making sure people have food to eat. It's about guiding science towards things that actually help humanity. The sadvipra's job, their whole purpose, is focused on the well-being of the collective.
So, after all that, where does this leave us? Right here, right now.
Well, this philosophy isn't just an interesting idea to think about. It ends with a very direct, very powerful call to action.
I mean, come on, how inspiring is that? It's telling us not to be afraid, not to be paralyzed. The path forward requires courage and a fighting spirit, and it comes with a promise. If you embrace that spirit, victory isn't just a possibility, it's a certainty.
And this is where it all comes home. This is where it becomes personal. The biggest obstacles we face aren't out there, they're in here. The ultimate challenge, the real call to action, is for each of us to try and build those sadvipra qualities in ourselves.
So if there's one thing to walk away with today, let it be this. True progress isn't something we just wait for. It's something we make. It's born from that unstoppable spirit, that choice to fight against every single obstacle for a future that is better, wiser, and happier for absolutely everyone.
Hey, if this got you thinking, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. We've got a lot more content like this coming your way. Thanks for being here.